Hello, thank you for joining our program today on NTA Channel 12 Uyo. My name is Dora Okobasi. It's another wonderful time to be with you on the program Her Voice Her Strength. It is the first in its series. And today we shall be talking on the theme Her Voice Her Strength. We all know that women have a lot of role to play in the development of the society. And then I won't be doing this alone. I have a very dynamic woman. I call her a 1 in a million woman, all in one woman. And she is no other than Dr. Aniefiok Eaton. Dr. Aniefiok Eaton is a multifaceted professional with extensive experience in marketing, maritime business, international trade, logistics, management, and leadership. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Marketing from the University of Calabar and a Master of Business Administration at Nexford University, Washington, D.C., USA. Aniefiok is well credentialed, holding an executive diploma in freight forwarding and supply chain management from the University of Lagos and a certificate in management and leadership from WIC Singapore, certificate in leadership and management training from Istanbul, Ejitimla, Turkey, honorary degree, Doctor of Gender Management, honoris causa, WIC Istanbul, Ejitimla, Turkey. Aniefiok is the current chairman, Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, Cross River State, Vice President, Maritime Logistics, Calabar Chamber of Commerce, Mines and Agriculture, Cross River State. She is a member Association of Nigeria Customs License Agents, member Nigeria Morocco Trade Mission 2023, an accomplished entrepreneur, a professional freight forwarder, custom license agent, an international trade consultant. Aniefiok is the president of Bright Flow Conglomerate and Device, and that's the one I'm very, very comfortable with in all, the profile and all the engagements and involvement and the certification she has acquired. Is the Bright Flow that I am very, very conversant with, and that is who we will be talking with on this edition of the program. Don't forget, I told you that the topic we are addressing today is Her Voice, Her Strength. And this is a woman with so much to offer. And then we get started. You're welcome, Dr. Aniefiok Eaton.
Thank you so much.
And going through your profile, it is so mind-blowing, if you permit me to say that. And I thank God for you. I know God is going to still take you higher and wider and better in the name of Jesus. Amen. All right, Dr. Aniefiok Eaton, this is the program we are handling today. We are talking about Her Voice, Her Strength. And you are a woman of so many sides, so many faces. How did you come this far as a woman? You know, in Africa, women have a lot of limitation. You know, you're not supposed to do ABC, you're supposed to do EFG. But in all you have stated, it seems you have dared, the angles that have to do with more men. And then I see you delving and making waves in that aspect. How did you do this?
Yeah, thank you so much. Like the topic says, her voice,
her strength.
So that lays emphasis on a woman being able to express herself. Apart from speaking out, being creative, and bringing out all that the Lord or God has, impacted or ordained her to be. That's what I understand by her voice, her strength. Because her strength comes right from within. It comes from within, then we express it in the outside. Like you talk about my own profession, which is the maritime sector. I want to say that I am being more fortunate, or blessed to find myself in that kind of environment, the maritime trade, which is so say all male dominated
Yes,
environment. And I want to say that being there as a chief executive officer of my own organization, and also consulting for multinational entities, it has not really been easy. We have our own challenges which sometimes can be draining, and most of the time too can be so rewarding. And going back to our topic, that, whatever I have been able to achieve in this sector is all put together, through the fact that I have to establish my inner strength into whatever I'm doing. Also using my voice positively as a woman, to speak about what I want, how I want it, and what I am looking at to achieve at the end of the day. So that is all about my business. Then, as a woman too, I'm also a mother.
I know.
And being a woman starts from being a daughter, then a wife and a mother. So, bringing all into, reality. How do you now cope with all of them using your voice and your strength as well? Then the fact that you are somebody's daughter, you have to see how you can balance attending to your parents' needs, attending to your duties as a wife, then also, to your duty as a mom.
And I was almost coming there.
Yes.
How do you juggle? How do you synchronize? How do you compare? How do you contrast? How do you merge? How do you manage and still emerge? You're still successful in your own area or field of endeavor. How do you do it? You combine home fronts, you combine marital responsibilities, and your job that is so demanding. We're talking about her voice, her strength. How have you been able to match this and still come out very strong? You still come out glowing. You still come out so beautiful. How did you do it, and how are you doing it? And how are you also going to help another woman who is watching us, in her own field? The person might not be in the maritime industry. The person might not also be a broadcaster. So how can you also encourage and also make women know that it is not all about your job? It's not all about your position as a wife or your position as a mother. You have to actually combine, and the strength is already there. Just like you said, God has given a woman so much strength, to carry everything together. But as for you, how do you manage it, and how would you also encourage other women to cue in and excel as you have been excelling?
I also forgot to add that I'm a pastor, and
Wow.
I don't do anything without referencing
To
God
God,
and giving Him all the glory, because the wisdom, strength, courage, and the voice comes from Him. So first of all, I garnered my strength from God, and I'm someone that is being very focused, and another thing is that I have to have the right mindset. How do I achieve that? By being consistent in whatever I am doing or I'm looking out to do. Apart from being consistent, I'm also being very intentional about my purpose. The purpose of being a wife or a woman is very demanding. The world expects so much from a woman. Forget about the fact that the male section see us as a weaker vessel. But at the end of the day, they also look up to us, to get so much from us. Then at the end of the day, you can't do it on your own. You need the grace of God to be able to, balance, meet up, and be able to coordinate and carry yourself with dignity. Now, coming back home, I personally, there's something I do. I'm somebody that has the right mindset, and I also have this kind of strong will, so that if I take up any task, I have that confidence in myself that I will go for it, and I will make sure that I take it, to an expected end. And I don't like, being intimidated. And I'm not somebody that, you can easily push about, and bring your own opinion. First of all, if there is anything that we need other people's opinion, I will always go back, sleep over it, pray over it, do some research to be able to balance what they're telling us. Is it right? Should I go for it or should I go my own way? So by the time you have the right mindset, so what we want to tell every woman is that no matter how it is, take care of yourself so that you'll be able to be balanced mentally. See, we shouldn't do away with the fact that mental health issues is real. Mental health is all about people running the street as,
insane people.
Insane people.
Yeah.
It's about people not being able to coordinate themselves in order to be able to balance the activities or whatever has been put or expected them to do. So if you cannot have that balance, and a lot of women that I've encountered, they always have this problem. They want, somebody to push them before they do anything. They can't even take their own personal decisions. They can't even stand up for themselves. So my voice, my strength start from you. How do you, learn your voice? How do you express yourself for the world to hear you? First of all, you must be balanced mentally. With that, you will be able to talk about who you are and also tell the others about what you want. You understand? Because if you are not balanced, you'll not be able to coordinate. You don't even know what you want. Anybody can sell anything to you and you accept it. And women in this part of the world, I don't know whether inferiority complex, I don't know whether it is ignorance or lack of awareness. We always have that problem that, we see ourselves as, being not able to dare some certain challenges. And it is not good enough.
We feel we are humble.
We don't know. It's not humility. I've seen something lately in the social media by which people talk so much about humility and integrity, and I see that their own interpretation of those words is completely outside what it
scope.
is.
Yeah.
Do you understand? See, there's something called timidity. So you don't align the two of them and bring it as one. You accept the fact that you are being timid to some certain extent. That doesn't make you humble. Do you understand? So if you are being timid, just like the word, you be intimidated. You can easily be intimidated. Anybody can just come, sell anything to you or threaten you to give up on your goals. And I don't subscribe to that. Do you understand? I don't subscribe to that. No matter who you are and whatever you think you have achieved, I always believe in myself first. What do I want? Who am I? Why am I here? So if you have the chances to always ask yourself those questions, you will see that you'll be able to rediscover yourself, be able to stand the test of time and go very far in life.
Okay, Dr. Eaton, let's come back to this other point. Yeah. You know that we are in Africa.
Of course.
And then in Africa, there's this, there's this position that women, the society see women should not actually excel or go beyond a particular peg. When you want to aspire or when you're going higher than the normal where women are being placed, they see you as a very proud person. They see you as someone who wants to dare the men. They see you as someone who is not submissive. We still come back to that aspect of humility. They see you as someone who is not submissive. You want to do too much. You hear people say you do. You want to overdo. You want to dare some certain things. Now, how do we break even as women and still allow our voices to be heard and still be that woman who has this confidence, this woman who is complete, this woman who still functions as a homemaker, this woman who is still sane, because there's somehow they push you left, right, center, and you lose balance. And in fact, you lose balance, and maybe one aspect of you may be, leaking, and you can't really stand well. So how do women fashion themselves in a way that they won't be seen as you're doing too much, or you're coming out too much, or you're just shaking your head too much, or a woman should not do, why can you imagine a woman, you want to sue someone as a woman? Who gives you that? You're supposed to be under your husband, you're supposed to be under a man. No, you should obtain permission from the men first before you act. Is this still part of the challenge we are facing as women, and this also hinder our voices from being heard?
Of course, all that you are saying is what I have personally experienced. One, the fact that, I became a widow at a very young age, so that is another part of experience entirely, by which I don't really want to go deep inside of it. Then another aspect is the fact that I dare to exist in all male dominating environment, to do my business, find my goals and make success. So it now became like, oh, this woman is not behaving like a woman. She's acting like a man. She's doing too much and all of that. So I have heard all of that. But, there's something the Holy Spirit taught me over the years. Say, ignore the outside noise. Outside noise might not be the blaring of a horn of a vehicle outside there, or maybe children making some noises. These are turbulence that are coming, from the known enemy or known vices in order to distract you. So what do you do as a woman? You ignore them and remain focused. You have to be very diligent. You have to go for what you want. And when we talk about women expressing themselves, there are so many ways. I mean positively. Because sometimes women are pushed to overreact. And it turned out that instead of them to make a point, they now make a noise. Do you understand? So there's a difference between speaking up and making noises. So a lot of women at the end of the day, maybe they're being pushed, outside what they can bear, and they start screaming out of proportion. That becomes a noise. So what do you do? Like what I do, I'm also a writer, and then you go into creative expression. If you find yourself in an environment that you can't really speak, you go into writing. Bring out, how you feel, what you've experienced, what you think, on a piece of paper. Let others read and see how they can learn from it. And from there you will start healing. Do you know that you speaking up, has some balance in your life? You're going to be healed from some heel hurts that has been there for some years. See, a lot of women that you see walk around, they are going around with bitterness, with pain. Why? Because they have not been allowed to express themselves. That is the truth. That is the truth. So they now become accumulation. Like Joyce Meyer said, they have this overload of bitterness, pain. It now turns out to be something that weighs them down. And with that, anybody that goes about with bitterness will be limited in performance. Why? Because, that becomes like a constraint. When you want to go forward, you always
Something
remember that,
backward.
if I say this, they are going to judge me. If I dress like this, they are going to judge me. If I try to do this, they are going to judge me. So that now limits your performance. You remember that and you sit back instead of you to there. So I want to encourage every woman today. I might not know how it is with you. Whatever you think you have seen, I have seen that. Whatever you think you have experienced, I have experienced that. But I refuse, to allow those things to limit my performance. You have to be diligent. You have to learn to collaborate. That's another thing. As a woman, find somebody you can talk to. Find someone you can align with in order to be able to express yourself. You can speak to another woman. Of course, you can speak to another woman. I don't always want women to bring themselves into a contest. If you know that the environment you find yourself, if you try to dare anything, is going to put you into a contest with either your family members, your friends, or anyone, then what do? You come out first. If you can't speak, look for someone that can speak to you. Do you understand? Then you will be able to at least lift some burden from your heart and start healing. By healing, you will now have the right mindset to be able to express yourself positively. Because someone that is talking under pain, hurt, and bitterness, chances are that you might not be able to make a point. Then at the end of the day, you will still be seen as someone that doesn't have
weak.
value. You still be seen as someone that is still really weak, someone that is empty, because all empty words, makes you or expose you to who you are.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Mrs. Anefio Eaton. That was very powerful. But let's go on a short break. And when we return, this discussion continues. Please don't go away. Imagine a world where every woman's voice is heard, every story is told, and she is empowered. Think of a world where women rise above challenges, shattered glass ceilings, and inspire generations. Welcome to Her Voice Her Strength, where we celebrate the unbreakable spirits of women. Join us as we share stories of resilience, courage, and triumph. Hear from women who are changing the world, one voice at a time. Together we shall amplify conversations that shape our lives and empower each of us to being our best selves. Don't miss Her Voice, Her Strength on NTA Channel 12 Uyo, on Facebook and on YouTube every Saturday by 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Join the movement. Amplify her voice. Okay, you're welcome back. This is still Her Voice, Her Strength, reaching you out from NTA Channel 12 Uyo. My name is Dora Okobasi, and I've been joined by a very dynamic woman in the maritime sector, and she is Dr. Mrs. Anefio Eaton. And still talking on the issue, Dr. Eaton, I want to ask you this. We have you have expressed some things that actually make women's voice not heard, or women's voices not heard, and or one of them is so much bitterness, so much heartbreak, so much societal challenges, let me say so. But there's one point I want to ask about. When we talk about religion, does it have a toll on women as per their performances, as per their reasoning, as per their strength, as per their voices, as per their capacity, and what they can dare and what they cannot dare? Is religion a constraint? Has it ever been a problem to a woman?
Of course. In fact, recently I had a discussion with someone as regards our religion, and I said that some of us have come a long way, as Christians, and we've gone, in fact, even getting some of these rank pastors, and all of that. But to some extent, we have seen that there are things that are not right. You understand? Religiously. And these two are stand as a menace to so many people. Why? Because there are a lot of lies that is being told at the pulpits. We see that
lies.
Yeah, of course. Most of the time, that man out there is not living what he or she is preaching. And with that, people will get confused. People will try to balance the lifestyle of those that are looking up to, outside the religious background and their real self at home. Do you understand? And with that, there's a whole lot of deceit going on. And with that, it affects us, both physically, mentally, spiritually, and otherwise. Why am I saying that? You will see maybe a pastor or a pastor's wife telling you, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that, you don't need to go there, you don't need to go here. But at the end of the day, you come to realize that they are living exactly what they are telling you not to. How do you reconcile that? I had a situation by which a pastor keep castigating someone of, you are posting too much on social media. You are posting too much on social media. But later we now realize that the wife posts on Instagram every blessed Sunday. She will even dance and remove her tongue. Then how do you balance that? See, You don't live a lie and expect other people to live your truth. You understand? So religion, is to some extent. I know we have been shaped by teachings of our Lord Jesus Christ. We have been molded by the Word of God. But the very people that so many are looking up to are not living the truth.
They are living the lie.
They are living the lie.
I like that.
Honestly, they don't practice what they preach. They say a different thing on the pulpit, and outside they are living a different thing. Do you understand? If it is their wives, their children, it is okay to do that. But if it is a member's wife, a member's child, they want to castigate. So that makes, especially women, to see how they can, draw themselves backward, confine themselves, go back into their shell. Because the more they try to express themselves, the more they are being judged by their spiritual fathers, their spiritual parents, their brethren in church, and all of that.
Okay, Dr. Eaton, you are actually talking, referring to Christians because I think that's our faith down here. But when you look at other religions, like the traditional religion, like the Muslims and other religions that we have, do they also have some loopholes that affect the women's voices from being heard? Do they also have some lacuna that we would love to address, so that women, when we talk about women honestly, we're not only referring to Christian women.
Of course.
Women all over the globe, no matter what your religion is, women's voices should be heard, and they should be celebrated, they should be empowered, they should be listened to, they should rise. So that's why I'm asking, does it only affect Christian women, or are those other religions also having this loopholes?
Not at all, because why I had to start was like starting from home.
Yourself. Charity beginning at home.
At home. Your own personal experience and what you've seen.
Yeah.
Then as a global citizen, because I do global business, so I have had encounter with people in the global community. And I have seen that it's not just women from a single religion, tribe, or nation, or nationality that suffers this setback when it comes to allowing women to lend their voices. It is a global phenomenon, and I thank God that women have started standing up for themselves and other women. If you check other religion, the Islam, the Hindu, even I think the only religion I see that it does not really affect women so much is what the Chinese beliefs. Because you see Chinese, they are everywhere, both the young, the old, the men, the women, they are doing what they need to do. They go out, they do their business, and all of that. And you check other religion, especially those that are married, their religion will tell them, you don't have to even go out, you don't have to be seen, you don't have to speak up. In fact, I came to realize recently that there's even a congregation under Christianity that a woman doesn't have to pray when the man is there. And I'm like, what's going on? So if, for instance, I need to pray for myself for the fact that my husband is there, I don't need to pray. And they say, no, you have to give honor to the men. And I'm like, no, we should come out of this slavery, because, in the Bible, God described humanity as man. God created man in his own image. He did not say created man and woman in his own image. So before God sees us as one. God created man in his own image. Then in his likeness, he created them male and female. That is like narrowed down for the purpose of, characteristics, differences. He now bring up male and female. But the original plan of creation is man, which include both male and female.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I always say, I'm not here to hold brief to women who stand up to challenge the men. I don't do that. I'm not here to hold brief to women who think that they should put themselves, in a contest or competition with a man. I said in one of my speaking engagement that, there's a saying that a man is a breadwinner. That's fine. A woman should not be allowed to put themselves into a contest by which you run the race with a man in order to see who's going to win bread. No. Rather, what do? While the man is out there on a race to win bread, you can stay home to learn how to bake bread. Do you understand? So that let everybody contribute, to the purpose of life. No competition, no bad energy, no bad mind, no negativity. It's just coming together as one to contribute for the purpose of man. And whether you are of any kind of belief, religion, and all of that, you shouldn't forget the fact that a woman was created just the way you were created, with purpose. You should allow a woman to have a voice. You should allow them to pursue their goals. You should allow a woman to be able to express themselves positively in order to contribute to the growth of both the family and the nation.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Eaton. Another striking point there. She has also admitted that religion has also been a very, very issue that we have to look at squarely. This is what also limits some women from becoming what they ought to be. Sometimes their voices are not heard due to some of their religious practices and laws and policies, that wouldn't allow them to come out and be who they should be or whom God created them to be. But at this point, I would like you to advise women on how and what they should do so that their voices could be heard. And this strength has to do with what they do, their work. How can a woman be successful? That is, I think that's what it entails. How can a woman be successful with her voice in a society that is like this?
Now, thank God for technology. The trend has made it very easy for everyone. So no woman should have an excuse that I don't have a job, I don't know what to do, and all of that. Even at the confine of your house, you can be productive. You can contribute. You can learn a trade or develop your career with your phone, with your gadgets, and all of that. So most of the time why women can't speak boldly is the fact that women put themselves, to be totally independent. They have to wait for their men to buy them everything,
Body cream,
hairs. It's all essentials
everything
of life. They are now depending on men. And sometimes you see young women say, I need a man to do this for me. See, the world has outgrown that. You see women, stand out and command, industries, command investment, massive investment, and all of that.